Hey viewers, welcome to the last video in the Introduction to Starcraft series. So this time we are doing the Protoss race, and the Protoss have 4 production buildings. I decided to go a little bit different this time. We have the Nexus, which produces the probes, as well as the mothership. The probe is the standard working unit, and it looks like this. Well, these are 2 of them, of course. It looks like this. It can produce buildings which look like this. There you go. All of the buildings warp in like this, and the probe itself is free to go wherever it wants. So then you can produce a mothership out of it, which cloaks all of the buildings and units that it comes into contact with, or rather that are close to it. As you can see, it cloaks them. The enemy cannot see them. That is very useful. It has a recall ability which allows all units that you have to be transported to the mothership in a targeted area, of course, not on the entire map. The second one is the gateway. The gateway can be upgraded to warp gate. I will go into that in a moment. And the gateway produces 5 different types of units. First of all, the Zealots. The Zealots are your main early game army. You have, they have 2 blades, and they will attack twice. They are ground units. They can only attack ground units, and they are in general very useful in the early game. In the late game, not so much anymore because they are pretty slow. They do have an upgrade that is called Charge, and it allows them to moving quick to enemy units, and that makes them a little bit more useful in the late game. But overall, you don't want to go with these late game. Maybe a few of them, but not your main army. The second one is the Sentry. It's over here. It's a spellcaster unit. It has 3 spells. Force fields, first of all, which looks like this. We see that a lot in the high-level games. Force field blocks as you can see, the movement in an area for a certain amount of time, and that amount of time is 15 seconds. So you can block off like pathways, or even split an army in half. So if you do it like this, then you can see that the army gets split, and if you do it across an entire army, then of course that will split the army in 2. You can kill off the first half, and then after 15 seconds you can kill off the rest. Then Guardian Shields, which it looks like this. It prevents 2 incoming damage, range damage to all units inside of it. Also lasts for 15 seconds. The last one is Hallucination, that produces a unit of your choice for 60 seconds, and you can use that unit just like you could any other unit, except that it does no damage. But you can fly it around the map, and the enemy will not be able to tell the difference. So it is pretty useful. Then the next unit is the Stalker, which is normally your mid-game and end-game unit, or well, maybe not end-game unit, but it is your mid-game unit. It is a very strong unit. You can upgrade it with Blink. I will go into the upgrades in a moment, well, after I've done all of the units. And normally we see a lot of Stalkers in games. So they shoot versus ground and air. These also, so the Sentries also versus ground and air. Only this unit has a very slow attack speed, not a whole lot of range. The range on this one and the attack speed on this one are a lot better. So this is your main army. Then the 4th unit is the High Templar, which is over here. It is also a spellcast. It can cast 2 different spells. First of all, Feedback, which allows it to... do we have? Yeah, we have one. You can't target your own units. Oh, they protected that. Yeah, and I already killed off all of the enemy units, because the first 4 times I tried to cast this game, the enemy kept attacking at the exact moment that I was trying to explain something, which was really annoying. So I killed all of them, except for a few buildings. It drains all the energy and it deals 1 point of damage for all the per energy. So in this case, this would be 200 energy, and so it would do 200 damage. And this unit only has 80 health, so it dies. It dies instantly. By the way, all of the Protoss units have shields, which are the blue ones, and health points, which are the green ones in this case. And you can, if you attack anything, let's attack this gateway. First of all, yeah, it's 500, 500 now. So if we attack it, hang on, come on. So if I attack it, you see that the blue disappears first, which is the shield, and then after that the health will start disappearing. The health will not regenerate. After a while, however, and you can see that now, the shield will come back up, and the blue bar will come back. It actually goes pretty quickly, so as long as your units, or because the same goes for units, works exactly the same, but as long as your units or buildings survive, they regain about half their HP. For Archons, for example, which I will come to in a minute, they have 350 armor and 10 health. So as long as they survive, they regain almost all of their health back. And that is of course excellent for, well, as a surviving unit from a fight, because it will be ready to fight again in the next fight with full HP. For free. You don't need to do anything for that. So anyway, the High Templars, which we discussed earlier, once they run out of energy... Oh no, hang on. I just discussed feedback. You also have Psionic Storm. I haven't upgraded this yet, because I will get to the buildings in a moment. Psionic Storm is an AoE damage spell, so it creates a large storm over a region. And I will start upgrading it, I think, in a minute, and then demo it. It is very good against small units, and it deals just an amount of damage. You can't stack them, so only one storm will apply its damage at the same time. Once you run out of energy on 2 High Templars, you can morph them into an Archon. It looks like this, and then the Archons will arrive, and as you can see, they have more HP. They can't cast spells though, but they can attack. High Templars cannot attack. It says scan move, which doesn't really do any attack, so it doesn't have an attack. As you can see, it doesn't have the attack, well, this one. The attack Picto. So the 5th unit out of the gateways, so the gateways are your main production units, is the Dark Templar. Dark Templar are in 2 varieties. This one with the 2-handed scythe, and this one with the blades. They are exactly the same, they just have 2 different character models. So yeah, they look different, but as I said, they are the same. So they are invisible. They are completely invisible to enemy troops, to the enemy, as long as they don't have a detector. And we already discussed detectors in a previous game. But detectors are certain buildings. Every race has one building and one unit that can actually detect stealth units. And as it says, permanently cloaked. You don't need to do anything for that. They can warp into Archons as well. And yeah, they become the same Archons as the other guys. So there you go. Now I have 4. So anyhow, that's the gateway. The second, well, 3rd production is the Stargate, which is over here. And it can produce 3 kinds of units. First of all, these Phoenixes, I guess. They have 1 spell. They are air-to-air, airplanes, air-to-air units. They have the Graviton Beam, which allows you to lift up this, which makes it a flying unit. And now I can attack it with my. Hang on. Let's do that again. Let's lift up one of the units that doesn't fly, and then attack it. And as you can see, now I can attack it. Normally, I cannot attack these units. Must target air units. So it's kind of a neat trick to make units into flying units. And while flying, or while lifted by the graviton beam, which of course costs energy, while lifted, the units cannot move, cannot do anything, cannot shoot at you. They just get immobilized. So you can also do it like this, and just have all of these units just, yeah, neutralized, and then your other units can come in. Of course, you normally do this with enemy units, but all of the units would get neutralized, and then you can neutralize a part of the enemy's army and kill the rest. Anyhow, second, the Void Ray, which is very common in low-level games. It is this unit. Let me show it. It looks very nice. It's a very big unit. It can attack both ground and air units. It has a beam weapon, and I will demo that. And the beam weapon starts off as a small... Oh, let's not actually destroy it, so let's just take one. At first it has a small beam, and then at some point, after a certain amount of seconds, there it goes to a bigger beam, and I don't want to destroy my Stargate here, and it deals more damage after that. So it yeah, once you charge it up, you do more damage with it. And then the last unit is the carrier, which is the, well, probably the strongest, no, it is the strongest air unit in the Protoss army. It shoots out interceptors, and there you can see them. Each of them has 3 interceptors when they start. You can upgrade them, so you can build interceptors on them. And then once they are completed, you will have up to 8, I believe. Yeah. So carriers must have fewer than 8 interceptors to build an interceptor. So once you have all of them, you cannot use that anymore. And yeah, you can upgrade the speed with which they come out of the carriers. I actually destroyed it. Okay. So never mind. Yeah, the last. So these can attack both air and ground units, and the damage is per hit. So every interceptor can do 2 hits at the same time, and you can have 8 interceptor per carrier. So you can see how that would be very, very powerful. These need protection though, because although they have a decent amount of hit points, they are very pricey. They cost 350 minerals, 250 gas each, and then you have to build the interceptors. But all in all, they are well worth it. So the last building is the robotics facility, the one I just destroyed, and it will come up right now. It can produce 4 units. First of all, the observer, which is over here. It is a detector. It is a stealth unit, as it says, permanently cloaked, and it will detect all cloaked bird and hallucinated units. You can fly it around, you can upgrade the speed and everything, but mainly used as, well, what it stands for, an observer, a spy in the enemy base, and as long as you can keep it alive, it will do wonders for your scouting information. And it is a relatively cheap unit. It costs a lot of gas, but yeah, it's good. So second, the warp prism. We've been seeing a lot more of that lately, mainly used as a transport, but can also used in phasing mode. If you switch it, you get this this little field underneath it, and we will see in a moment what that's used for. The field is the same as the field you create with your pylons, and it is it can be used to warp in units, which we will do in a moment. Then the Colossus here. The Colossus can walk up to ridges or up ridges without having, well, without anything really. It can just go up and down and escape through routes that normal units cannot. and as you can see, it is pretty mobile because of that. And yeah, you can hide it on the high ground. It can shoot. Let's attack something. Let's attack these guys. It shoots AoE beams over a pretty long range. Now it has range 6. You can upgrade it to range 9. And they are mainly used against small units that clump together a lot. So zealots would be a good example of that. These are zealots, just in case you didn't remember. But mainly against units like Zerglings, which were in the Zerg tutorial. Anyway, these are the units that you can produce. Then, as I said, you can upgrade this unit into an Archon, and then yeah, we also have a lot of buildings, as you can see here, that can upgrade things. This one doesn't really belong here. I accidentally built it here. First of all, we have the Forge. The Forge allows you to build cannons, which are over here, and which can fire at other buildings. Or, well, no, other or units that come close to it. It has a pretty decent range. It has pretty decent attack. It hits air and ground, and they're mainly used to protect your base in the early game. They can, of course, also be used to rush your opponent, but that is not too common. Yeah, you also have the assimilator, which is built on geysers, so on the gas geysers. It's the way to get gas. But that's not an upgrade building. Anyway, fleet beacon. No. Let's go here first. The Twilight Council has blink, which is for the stalkers. It allows them to teleport or blink to another location. It's an instant movement. You can use it once every 10 seconds or so. And then this one is its charge, and it allows the zealots to move really quickly for the last little bit of the distance that they need to the target. Yeah, I'm upgrading them now. We will see them in a moment. The Templar Archives then. It has one upgrade, that's Psionic Storm. And Psionic Storm is an ability for the High Templar. And we will see that in a moment as well. Then the Dark Shrine allows the production of Dark Templar. The Fleet Beacon, first of all, it has an ability to increase the range of the Phoenix weapon by 2, and then it has the Graviton catapults, which we will see. Yeah, you may. I will demo it again in a moment. It allows the interceptors to come out quicker. I will demo it before this is upgraded, and then we can see the difference. So then, the Robotics Bay, it has the increased range for the Colossus weapon. It has the increased movement for warp prisms and the increased movement of observers. And we will now demo the effect or the attack speed of this one. So as you can see, they come out one by one, and yeah, it's stop, that's the one I wanted. So I'm assuming that was the research I was waiting for. No, it's not. Hang on, it's almost complete. There it is. And now, if I shoot them out, hang on, you can see they come out a lot quicker. I'll do it once again. So they come out a lot quicker, and they will attack quicker, and that's basically what you gain from that. So this one is the last one. Yeah, I didn't build it with the rest because I started building here. This one has a lot of upgrades. First of all, the hallucination, which I will research first. No, I will do the warp gate first. The warp gate allows you to make warp gates from your gateways, and that allows you to warp in units instead of creating them. So first of all, normally producing a unit would be like this. It would train them, and then once it's done, it will run to the target location. So let's make it run over here. So we will see it takes a while to produce, but then it will run to that position. So let's discuss the rest while this is researching. The hallucination allows you, as I said, to make a copy of a unit, and then yeah, it doesn't attack, but it does all the rest that that unit can do. And then furthermore, we have the air weapons, the air armor. We also have ground weapons and ground armor somewhere. Oh, that's here. In the forge you have the ground weapons, ground armor, and the shields. The shields are on the buildings as well as on the units. So yeah, they can be used for just about anything. So yeah, the unit we just produced ran all the way over here, and that of course is is the way that it normally goes. But once we have this upgrade, which of course takes a long time, and I should have chrono boosted that. Anyway, chrono boost is, by the way, something, or well, an ability that requires energy. As you can see, I have 81 energy here. It requires energy, and it allows you to do something quicker. So in this case, upgrade quicker. And you can also use it to produce units quicker. You can use it to do probes quicker, do the research quicker, whatever you want. Anyway, we have the warp gate technology now. We're going to upgrade all of them to warp gates. You see the nice animation, and normally you do this right in the beginning of the game, because this is a very useful upgrade. As you can see, the waypoint disappeared, the little line, and now what it allows me to do is to select a unit, for example the same zealot. I hit Z for zealot, and I can warp in anywhere that I want. So anywhere where there's light blue. So here I cannot warp in, here I can warp in. So instead of that whole run over here, I can just do this, and instantly I have a zealot. Well, not instantly, it takes a few seconds, but still that is well worth it compared to the amount of time it normally takes. I'm going to suicide a few probes. Let's attack all of these probes. Yeah, without an enemy it's pretty hard to suicide units. So I have some I have 6 supply, and that means that I can build some units. So I have 4 warp gates, so I can warp in 4 of these. If you build more, of course you can warp in more, but I can only warp in 3 because I don't have enough enough of anything otherwise. So normally you would be able to produce a whole lot of units at the same time and then immediately attack with them. So if you build a pylon right here, you would be able to attack the buildings straight away, but it allows you to warp in right next to your the rest of your army, and that is of course awesome. Yeah, the hallucination, let's see these ones. So the hallucination is over here. So hitting C, as you can see, it can summon units, and so we can do probes, for example. We get 4 probes immediately, and then I can use the probes to do whatever I want. I can make them go over here and scout for me. I of course don't want these to follow, but so you don't have to have the unit yourself. You can just warp them in anyway. You don't have to have anything. So they're often used for the Phoenix, which can scout pretty quickly. So it can scout around the map for you without you risking a unit. And that way, as you can see, you can scout around the map very quickly. And all it costs you is that first upgrade on the hallucination. And the hallucination can be used for multiple other things, such as producing a bunch of colossi. Oh, hang on, C, okay, that's easy enough. So, if I add this to my army, they will not know which of the colossi is real, and they will start attacking my fake colossi, and therefore protecting my own colossi. Of course, some of them cost, some of them are useful for, one reason or another. Others are not so useful. But I think all of them cost 100 energy, and that is pretty much because you only get 200. But as you can see, they do attack, they just do no damage. So even though it looks pretty cool, they don't do damage, and they will time out eventually, but it takes quite a long time actually. So yeah, if you do that right before you go into a battle, you can definitely distract the enemies, especially if you do it with zealots, because you get 2 zealots at the same time. You get 2 stalkers, and well, 1 immortal, 2 high templar, blah blah blah. You can see it for yourself, and 4 probes. So you normally don't use it for probes though. You normally use it for actual attack units that the enemy wants to focus. And yeah, it's impossible to see the difference except when you shoot at them or when they shoot at you, because when they shoot at you and do no damage, you know, oh, that's an hallucination. But if you mix them in your army, it's pretty hard to tell. I don't think I discussed... oh, I forgot one. The Immortal, which is this one. It is used a whole lot because of, as you can see, the damage versus armored. It has 2.5 times the damage versus armored that it normally has. Plus it has an awesome shield, which allows it to take a maximum of 10 damage as long as it has shields. So it has 100 shields, so it can take 10 shots. And that means that if I take a shot of, what's the biggest shot? Well, of course my Immortal is my biggest shot against armed units. This one does 11 damage versus armor, it does 15 damage. So let's attack this guy once. So now it lost only 10 health from the shield, and yeah, so 10 health again. And even though this guy is supposed to do 15 damage, and on the back side, of course, if this one attacks this one, it will do a lot of damage. As you can see, it lost almost all of its shield in 1 hit, and that's because this one is armored. This one does 55 damage versus armored, and that's why they are super useful. The Immortals. So I think I discussed all of the units now, and yeah, I think so. Oh, hang on, I missed one. Well, not actually missed one, but I needed to demo this. That's the Psionic Storm, and as you can see, it's a pretty big area. It's a pretty long effect too. It costs 75 energy, which is a lot, but it is a very useful spell against Zerglings and Zealots and all kinds of biological creatures that group up. And yeah, just like the Colossus, it focuses on clumped up units that don't have a lot of HP, or well, maybe if they do have a lot of HP. Against Stalkers it's also pretty effective, so it's not like you care about that. The problem with Psionic Storm, however, is that it does damage your own units, and as you can see, all of the shields get killed on these Stalkers because it does 80 damage. And so you have to watch out where you place them, because you can actually place them on top of your own units, and they will kill your own units. And as you can see, doing quite a lot of damage. So not only the enemy storms, your storms as well. So now that I've upgraded this as well, I will demonstrate the 2 abilities here. First of all, yeah, this has a cloaking field, I already told you. The mass recall. So you can select a unit or a group of units, or well, a region basically, and all of them will get teleported to your mothership. And then the second ability, and this works on enemy units and allied units, is the Vortex, which sucks in everything except for the mothership itself, but it will suck in air units as well. And once the Vortex ends in how much? 20 seconds, all of the units will pop out at the same time. So if you have AoE units in there, units that do AoE damage, they will instantly kill, well, everything that the opponent has. So if you have these ones do splash damage, I believe. Well, the main one would be the... oh, they're over here now. The High Templar. The High Templar's psionic storm will instantly kill a whole group like this when it comes out of the vortex, because of the the storm doing a lot of damage, and you can see it killed almost everything. And yeah, that's the way that works. So anyhow, I hope that I explained everything here, and now we're going to finish off this opponent and win this game. So not that I need all of these units, because there are only a few buildings left. And yeah, I hope that explains everything that you need to know. And if you have more questions, don't hesitate to put them into the comments. I will try to answer as many of the questions as I can. And yeah, make sure that you actually understand what's going on. I will go into tactics more often later, probably in the games themselves, because it would be useful for you to understand what's going on, why people make certain decisions, and just allow you to understand the game a little bit better. So anyway, as a final thought, this game is about $40. Don't buy it on the Blizzard website, buy it online or in your local shop, because it's cheaper than on the Blizzard website. And I would recommend you to just get the CD, because it has some nice pictures on it, and yeah, it's just great. Anyhow, it's a great game. It's pretty complicated to learn in the beginning, but you might have noticed that from the videos being like 50 minutes each. But it is definitely worth the investment in time, and yeah, it's just a great game. I will keep casting games from high-level players, and you will learn from that and improve your own play, hopefully. So anyway, hope you enjoyed the series, and if there are questions, as I said, put them in the comments, and I hope to see you next time. GG.